Hi Floss Tube, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching, back for my 7th, 8th, 7th, I don't know, video. Full disclosure, I am at the shop. It is still open, so I may be pausing this to wait on customers. That it's close to closing time, so hopefully we won't be disturbed. I have a lot to go through today. I kicked ass framing this week. Well, I had some help. I don't want to take full credit for it. I did call in the Kim, who's the owner of the shop when I first started framing, so like 15 years ago. She owned the shop, and I called and threw myself on her mercy and asked her if she wouldn't mind coming in and just putting things together. I had all the stretching done and mats cut and everything. I just needed glass cut and paper put on and hanger, and she did. She came in on Wednesday and knocked out a few projects, and so I have a lot of frame pieces to show you because I promised people they could take them home tomorrow. So I've got to get this done today. I have some what's new in the shop. I have a couple of pieces that customers have worked on and finished but aren't framed yet. I have some of my whips that I've been working on. A little bit of stash acquisition. I went down to the Pit of Despair the other day, and while I was down there I ran into my very first cross stitch piece, so I thought, well, as long as I can find it right now, I might as well bring it up and show it. So I've got that here. So yeah, lots to go through. So if you need to take a potty break, now would be a good time to do that, and then grab something to drink, bowl of popcorn, kick back, and we'll get to this. I think I'll start by thanking everyone for their wonderful comments on the last video, the one I did with Dan. Y'all were so kind, and he enjoyed it, and he didn't read the comments, but I read them to him, and so he did hear them all, and he was very flattered, but he's kind of mad at himself now because he says, well, I showed him everything I've got. And he said, how stupid was that? And I said, but you'll have progress on your hawk run, and he did find a chart that he liked, so he's got something new in his stash, and he can always just sit next to me and make fun of me too. So he'll be back eventually, maybe not next week or next month, but he'll be back with some progress on hawk run, and you'll see him again. I know a lot of people said they wanted to, so you'll see him again. I want to thank all the new subscribers for subscribing, all of the old subscribers for sticking with me, and this has been a fun experience doing these videos, and I enjoy. I didn't think I would ever say that, but I do enjoy making the videos and showing everybody what's happening around the store. I don't know, a couple of you might know, but my friend and sometimes helper Connie was offered a full-time position at Duluth, so being that she's single, she needed to take that so she has some benefits. So she is no longer helping out at the store. Then I don't know if you'll see her anytime soon. She may pop in now and again, but she's going to be pretty busy. I'm sorry to see her go. And let's see. My last video, or the video before that, last video, I mentioned that Adam and his family were moving back. They arrive Sunday, so we'll have a house full. And I'm hoping it goes smoothly. It's going to be difficult when you know, there'll be 5 adults, 2 kids, 3 dogs. People are going to get on each other's nerves, I can guarantee it. And I'm just hoping that we all just kind of take a step back and, you know, realize that this is not a forever thing. They're going to be looking for a house probably from day one, and hopefully they'll find it, you know, soon and can get settled in, and we can enjoy having them here. So with that, that's all the real life news I have. So I'm going to, I don't know where I'm going to start. I guess I will start with my first counted cross stitch piece. I had done stamped cross stitch prior to that. My grandmother taught me, and I may have mentioned that in the first video. My grandmother taught me when I was about 12, and then I didn't touch it for years. But the year that Dan and I got married, he moved us to Wyoming, and it was a very small town, and I had nothing to do. So I mean, it was a town of 100 people, and I didn't drive. He was gone. He was a teacher and a coach, so he was gone most of the time. I was going nuts, going from Omaha to and Omaha's not that big a city compared to others, but compared to a town of 100 where you don't know anybody, it was a pretty big change. And I was bored out of my mind. My aunt took pity on me and sent me this big box of craft stuff, and in there was a couple of stamped cross stitch patterns, as well as I think there was a sequined Christmas tree skirt and some other things. So since I knew how to do the stamped cross stitch, I worked on those, and it kind of kept me busy, all the crafting stuff that she sent me. So when we moved the following year, because I couldn't handle that small town anymore, we moved to a slightly larger small town, and I met some of the other teachers' wives, and one of them, her name was Diane, and she saw that I was doing stamped cross stitch, and she said, "Oh, well, you really need to try this counted cross stitch." And so she took me into her bedroom and pulled a plastic bin out from underneath her bed, and she let me go through her patterns and her fabric, and I had some floss of my own, so I took that little pattern and I took that fabric and I trotted my happy ass on home and sat down and produced my first of many counted cross stitch pieces. This was self-framed back in the day before I knew what the heck I was doing. So it's crooked, it's on stupid sticky board, and it's not glassed, so it's 36 years old, so it's got some staining on it because it hasn't been treated the best. But Dan made the frame for me, and it still comes out every year at Christmas. It's a little angel. I don't know what the pattern was. I don't know who the designer was, but I still think she's sweet. And I was looking at my work and thinking, well, that's not so bad, considering I taught myself. So yeah, that was my very first piece of counted cross stitch. The second one was a little kit that I bought then in Casper that said "use not fat, use fluffy," because that that year when I was at home by myself, all I did was, we couldn't afford healthy food, so I sat and ate junk food and gained 50 pounds that year, and I'm still carrying that 50 plus more. So my second piece was use not flat, use fluffy, and I don't have that one anymore, but so that's that story. Let's see. Shall we go to what's new in the store? I think we'll do that. We'll go to what's new in the shop. Get that off of the table. I'm sure you've all seen the new Rebellion Mermaid. I'm trying to get so the glare is not bad. It's a Renaissance Mermaid, Nora Corbett. Calls for sea spray linen. I didn't have any sea spray, so I was curious as to what the colors look like, so I went ahead and pulled the floss. They're very pretty, although I was surprised by the roses and pinks in it. I guess a lot of that would be her skin tone. But I thought I had a couple color suggestions just so people can see. This is Picture This Plus Lock, and that's about, it's showing up pretty true. But I think those colors would look good on that. Or this might be pretty. It's Crystal Arctic from Picture This Plus. This is a gorgeous fabric. It's green, kind of purpley blue, and it's opalescent, so it's got that, yeah, that nice sparkle to it. And I'm gonna guess that these would look pretty on there too. It's a little lighter than the other one, so it depends on whether you want a darker fabric or a lighter fabric. But those would be a couple options if your LNS doesn't have the called for fabric. It's a pretty piece. Let's see. Then we have Abby Rose Designs and Good Tidings to You. This is the number 1 of a 3-part series. Cute little sleigh down here. I'd probably change the house color because I don't know. I probably just wouldn't want a pink house. That one calls for 30 count cocoa linen, and it's pretty much a blend of Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works. But there's quite a few colors in that little piece. And generally speaking, Abby Rose designs, the pictures don't do them justice, so it's probably a heck of a lot cuter than what the picture is, and the picture's kind of cute, so if you're interested, check it out. Talon Emblem. They're fairly new to me anyway, designer. I don't know how long they've been around. I picked up, I think, the first charts from them at market this year. And they've just released Silent Night. Every chart has this little brass emblem in it, and you can choose to leave it on or off if you want. There, you can stitch the little spot there. They give you the chart for that. But there's Silent Night, and it uses DMC, and then Jingle Bells. I think the colors on that are really pretty. So it's Christmassy without being overwhelmingly Christmassy, in my opinion. Not that you probably care. Number 3 in the Loose Feathers series for the birds is She Sights a Bird. I think this one is using Picture This Plus fabric in the color I forget. So I'll open it up. Oaken. Yeah, I should have known that. Oaken. It's a cute cat. Couple of birds. Cute design, I like it. Next up is Nathan Hale from Little House Needleworks. And this series is just as cute as can be. Cute as a bug. Next is from Little House, Sampler Stitchers, which is also cute. It's got houses in it, and I told you before I like houses, so I think that's adorable. Little Dove Designs Home for Christmas. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Little Dove Designs. I think their designs are so sweet. I love these little ornaments that have the heart in them. Those are actually ornaments. Little candy canes down here. Snowflakes are pretty. I think it's adorable. It's very cute. Shannon Christine is a new to the shop designer. I know she's been on Etsy for a while. But I haven't ever had any of her patterns here, and this is the only one I have left. The rest of them have all sold. So Paisley Peacock, which I just love the colors in this. There's a lot of Krennic and then DMC, but I think that's really, really pretty. She has some really pretty designs. She's the one that did that Mrs. Claus's closet that I showed you the last time. She designed that pattern. So, and then finally, maybe everyone is not familiar with Death by Cross Stitch. But Julia has released now Life After Death, which I know some people have already been showing this off and on Facebook. But look at that whale with the people in its stomach, the bowl. The more you look at it, the more little things you see. And I was going to pull some thread colors the other day and quickly realized that I think it's going to take, what did I think? I can't remember now. A lot of floss. And so I decided I did not have time to think about this one yet. But look, there's little acorns in here. The acorns right in there. It's so cute. Well, not cute. Cute's not the right word. It's a beautiful pattern, and I can't wait for one of you guys to stitch it up. Because it's probably not going to be me anytime soon. So I'm anxious to watch someone's progress on that. Post and let me know that you're stitching it, and what floss you used, and fabric, and all that other good stuff. So that's what's new in the shop. New in my stash. I don't know why I did this, because God knows I have no time for this. But I decided, in all my infinite wisdom, to add Persian Iris Garden Mandala from Chatelaine to my personal acquisition pile. And as if that wasn't enough, the Tuscany Town mandala. So they can now join the other two that I bought not too long ago and stuck in a drawer, because that's probably where they're going to stay for the next decade. Someday I hope to stitch those. Now is not the day. Let's see. I'll show you next what one of my customers, Shirley, just finished up yesterday, and I said, oh hey Shirley, can I keep that until the next time you're in so I can show the people? And it is another Talon emblem, and Rodney is actually stitching the same one. I wish he was done with his, so that, and I should have asked him if I could keep what he does have done. I don't know why I didn't think to do that, but he's doing his on smaller count fabric and lighter fabric, and they look entirely different. But it's the Potted Posies sampler, and this is Shirley's finish. Isn't that pretty? I love those tulips. The butterfly is beautiful. It's really pretty. So I'll be showing you Rodney's when he gets his done, or if I remember to ask him if I can use it before the next video. But he should have it done, because he was close. He was really close to having it finished. It was just dumb on my part. Then I also snagged Rodney's blocks from his Hawk Run Hollow, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. And I don't remember how many of these I've shown you. So I know I haven't shown you this one, which would be, I think, his block 4. You know, from a distance, we've all been talking about, you can't see that this is a widow's walk up here. But from a distance, it kind of looks like the deer is being electrocuted. Just saying. We had a long conversation about it. Anyway, that's a pretty block. And then he just finished, this is block 5. Which is really pretty too. I love that tail on that peacock. That's so fun. So that one's really pretty. And I'll just quickly show the others just in case you haven't watched any of the previous videos. I don't know which block this is. Could be 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I think that was 1. Maybe. This is block number 2, I believe. And block number 3. Love the pineapple. He still is not sure, I don't think, what he plans to do with them, whether he's going to pillowize them or what, but kind of interested to see what he's going to do. And the last project I have from a customer is, I'm sure you're familiar with the summer schoolhouse from Brenda with the Needle and Thread. And Roxy went ahead and got it started so I could show you, because I haven't got mine started. That's as far as she's gotten. She says there's a lot of windows in that house. She says she's really enjoying it. She did not wait for the called for fabric, Mushroom Lugana, because this is 28 count over 1. And I called, I think I got the email about this on a Saturday, and I called on Monday to order the called for fabric, and it was already sold out everywhere. So I kind of scrambled, like I'm sure a lot of other shops did, and I found this wheat colored Lugana. It's a little bit darker than the mushroom, but Roxy liked it, so she went ahead and got that and is starting her stitching, which is already, you can almost, I mean, you can imagine the outline of the house already, and these are going to be an adorable series, I think. So that is what I have for customer whips. I think next is my whips, because this is the month I get to stitch on things other than Hawk Run. So up first is Fractor Flowers, and oops, let me move the magnet off of it. I'm doing mine on 40 count Murky, and I converted the fibers over from DMC to overdyes, and that's where I'm at so far. I'm starting that big bowl, so I'm you know, maybe halfway done at this point. I worked on this a couple of days, and then I moved on to It's Spring Fever. That's the number 1 in the Loose Feathers For the Birds series. And on this one, I got the leaves done over here and the tree in. I think that's about it. It was only a night of stitching, so I didn't get too far. But it's coming along, a little bit at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. And then I had an itch last weekend to start something new, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And I actually started 2 things. So bad Julie, but I started Vintage Glassware, and this is in the April 2017 issue of Just Cross Stitch. So, and I converted the blends to an overdye because I wanted to do it on 40 count. So this is 40 count Murmur from Picture This Plus, and that is the first of 12 pieces of glassware, and I just love those bright colors. Love it. Pretty. So that was one start, and then in my giveaway we were talking about our favorite Plum Street samplers, and my favorite has always been Harvest Keeper, but for some reason I've not ever stitched it. So I had it kitted up. I just had never actually stitched it, and I forgot to bring my chart, and I'm currently sold out of them, so I only have just a photocopy just to kind of show you what it looks like that I took off the internet. So that's what it looks like. I don't have much done, but this is what it's looking like. This looks a little funny right now, but that's going to be your hat, and that's an arm. Loving the colors. I did have to, like I said, I had to go down to the Pit of Despair, which used to be called my craft room, but since Abby moved in, is more a, oh, we don't know what to do with it, we've got no place to put it, so just throw it in the craft room. So it's now the Pit of Despair, because that's how I feel every time I go down there. I'm hoping that once Abby moves out, gets married, moves out in December, that I'll be able to get down there and start purging and reorganizing and making it useful again, because I miss having my, it looked so pretty when I was finished with it the first time, but it bears no resemblance to a craft room now. It literally is a pit of despair. So anyway, I had to go down there to get, this is wood trail, and the wood trail that I had, that I just plucked off the wall, no, the wood trail that I had kitted up was just pretty much all dark brown and looked nothing like what I remember the model looked like, because we had a, what's the word I'm looking for, trunk show of Paulette stuff a couple years ago, and this was in the trunk show, and it wasn't stitching up the way I remembered it. So I went down to the pit of despair to try and find a different floss. So this is still wood trail, it's just a more gray version of the wood trail that was out at some time. So there's that. I'm enjoying stitching on that one. And that is it for whips. I'm not going to start anything new this month. That was it. I'm going to try and work on just those that I showed you, and hopefully maybe get one done. Whether it's Factor Flowers or it's Spring Fever, one of those I'm going to kind of focus on and try and get it done. It'd be nice if I could focus on both of them and get it done, but let's be realistic, that's just not going to happen, because I want to work on the other two also. And with that comes show and tell for all the framing. Lots of pretty pieces. I don't know the name of all of them or the designer of all of them. If anyone wants to know that information, leave me a comment in the comments that you would like to know who the designer is, and I will do my best to contact the owner of the piece and find out who it is. Some of them I might know one or the other, but a lot of them I don't. So I've got a pile about this. It's pretty big, sitting over here, and I've got them spread out over here, and so I'm just going to start with the pile to my left, and I think this is a French designer, but I don't know who it is. It's really cute though. It's all these brightly colored chickens with the different patterns on them. I think they're adorable. It was very hard to find a frame for this one, just because, you know, if you picked blue, it didn't go with anything else. If you picked red, you could have, but it was kind of bright. So I think we did good coming up with this. It's not really yellow, but it reads yellow. So I think we did good. Okay. This is another piece that the same lady, she brought in a whole bunch of them to be framed, and so this is Hands-On Design Winter. I love this frame on it. The frame looks all cold and frosty to me, but I would not have been able to stitch this pattern, and the reason I would not have been able to, and it drove me nuts when I was stitching it or stretching it, the borders aren't straight, they angle in, and it's that balanced part of my brain. I couldn't handle that, and trying to stretch it was, I kept going, why does this look crooked? And until I finally figured out that it is crooked, but it was charted that way. So, but it's a cute piece now that it's done. It's just that it is not crooked, people. That is the way the chart was designed, and so it just makes it look like I don't know what I'm doing. as far as framing goes. I assure you, I do. I think this is I want to say Scarlet House. Sleigh rides and snowflakes. It's glassed. It's going to the fair. So you're going to get some glare on there. So I'll try and do my best. There. That's pretty good. Wendy came in last weekend, and I had this done last weekend. And I told her that I was not going to call her and tell her it was done until after I got this video made. But I suppose since she was there, I would let her look at it, which she kind of gave me one of those snarky looks like, oh, that's nice of you. But she did allow me to keep it. She's going to come in tomorrow and pick it back up. But when she saw it, she almost cried. And that, as a framer, I am always worried that the customer is going to love what I do, because framing is expensive. God knows, I know it's expensive. And so I always want to do the best job that I possibly can do, from picking the frame to doing the stretching to cutting the mats. I want to do the best job I can do. So when a customer comes in and sees a piece and they almost cry, I know I've done my job well, and it makes me feel so good to know that I achieved my goal in making them happy. So she said, I can't believe that I stitched that, and it looks so good. So there's your last look at it. It's going to the fair. Have you all entered your stuff in the fair yet? It's coming up. This piece is another one that Mary brought in. The winter, she brought the winter and the chickens. She didn't stitch this one though. And now I can't remember what relation she is to her. But anyway, she brought it in for a relative, and we chose the frame. But it's Mickey and Minnie having Thanksgiving dinner with all the other Disney characters. Simple black frame with a blue detail on it. Turned out very nice. Next up, I got Kim's permission to show her two pieces. So this is Postcards of the World from, oh God, I know the designer on this. Well, you'll know who it is. That's Postcards of the World. Gotta let you come in on it a little bit. This is really a cute piece, and I like the frame on it. The color is almost perfect. I don't think I could have gotten it much more perfect, but I suppose it's possible. But the color is good. And this is also from Mary. Originally, she was going to do that frame that I just showed you on the Disney piece, only it had a red line on it, and I was playing with this piece, and I fell in love with this frame, so I waited and showed Mary, and she agreed that this was a much better frame for it. So and I don't know who the designer is on this, but isn't that pretty? A little bit. There's touches of red in this frame, so it's not solid black. The red matches the red of the fabric. Isn't that pretty? she wouldn't, you know, some people might have wanted a white frame on that. And white would have looked okay. But her walls are white, so she didn't want a white frame. This is really pretty. She hangs all of her red and black and white stuff in her bedroom. So I'm sure this will join all the others. It's beautiful. Let's switch to this side. This is Kim's other piece. Kim from Postcards. I don't know the name of this. Let's see. There we go. This is kind of a metallic looking frame. It's got a little bit of distressing on it. These fish are absolutely stunning. I don't know if you can tell, maybe at the top, I put spacer between the bottom mat and the top two mats to give a little dimension to it, because I had the space in the frame for it. So I went ahead and did that. I think it turned out really pretty. I hope she likes it. Kim, I hope you like it. She watches the videos, so. There. Don't want to scratch that frame. Let's move to Satsuma Street's Emerald City. This shop is so dusty. And we chose, sorry for the reflection, we chose a suede mat, and then the bottom mat is green. Matches the frame. This is stitched on 28 count over 1, and it's an opalescent fabric. I don't know if you can, there, you can kind of see the sparklies. Isn't that gorgeous? I think this one is also going to the fair. I think that's beautiful. She could give it to me if she wanted, but she won't. She's pretty proud of that one. Next, we're getting almost to the bottom. But next, and this is another big piece. I don't know if this is is it Marjolaine Baston? I can't remember her name, but I think that's who the designer is on this. And she's a big piece. So I don't scoot way back on this. There. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm coming in. So you can see it a little closer. I can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. It's got the double mat on it. The frame is really pretty. It's kind of a golden color. Yeah, there's a pretty good look at it. With the frilly edge, it's just perfect on this piece. Beautiful. I would take this one home with me too, but I don't think she'll let me. And I'm kind of running out of room on my walls. All right. This is another one from Mary. And I asked her, I said, if I give you a good deal on the framing, can I hang it in the shop for a while? And she said yes. So this is going to hang here in that blank spot behind my head. And because it was going to hang here, we did a stacked frame on this. The red frame that you'll see on it is only about 1/2 of an inch wide, which on this piece looked kind of chintzy. But I loved the color and the shine on it, so we decided to do a stacked frame. So this is Gingerbread Village from Country Cottage Needleworks. And it's going to hang here. And it was kind of a bear to stretch because you got all these straight lines of snow and these, so getting those fairly straight is not the easiest job in the world, but I think it turned out pretty good, and I love the frame on it. It's just a dark wood frame with the red liner, and it's going to look good on the wall. And then the last piece I have to show you is actually mine. I stitched this eons ago. It came from a magazine, and one day when I was down in the pit of despair looking for something, I ran across it, and I had never finished it. I hadn't put the beads on. It was done except for the beads. I don't know why I didn't do the beads, because I like beading. But I hadn't done the beads, so I scrounged around and I found the magazine that it came out of. And of course, this is several months later, and I don't remember which magazine it came out of, but I'm sure if you want to know, I can go down to the pit of despair and find it and let you know. But it was always why it took this long for me to finish it and frame it is beyond me, because it's one of my favorite pieces. I say that a lot, one of my favorite pieces, but it is, always has been. It's got just, see, I had like these beads right here, and I don't know, 3 right here. That was it. Now, why in the world would someone not just finish that? I don't know. But I didn't. But it's finished now. This is a fillet. The frame doesn't come with the gold on it, but I wanted a little spot of gold to match the gold in the coffee pot, and it's kind of in the same, if you look at it, kind of has that same feel of the swirls in the coffee pot right there. The frame itself, I just wasn't happy with it. I tried to put mats on it. That was my original thought, was I wanted to mat it. And nothing I put on there made me happy. So then I decided, well, let's try fillet, and that made me happy. So if you happen to know the name of it, you can let me know in the comments, and I'll add them below. But came out of a magazine from probably the early 90s, I would guess. But it's not done yet. You'll see it's not done. I'm gonna actually put glass on this, because if and when I do ever put it in on display, it will probably go in the kitchen, although it doesn't match anything in the kitchen right now. But I definitely will want to have glass on it if I do put it in there. So I didn't want to put the glass on it until after I showed it to y'all. So there it is. And with that, I think I have gone through everything. Yeah, I don't see anything else. We're at almost an hour. That's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's after closing time and the dogs are home alone, so I do need to jet. I'm gonna have to come in really super early to bag all these back up again, or else go home, let the dogs out, and come back. one of the two. But anyway, you don't care about that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed all the lovely pieces. I know I like to see everybody's work, so it's always fun for me to get them all done and look at them, hang on to them for a little while before I send them off to their forever homes. But I hope you enjoyed seeing them, and I will see you next time, which probably will be a couple of weeks, because we're gonna be busy trying to settle in with Adam, Marcia, and Emma, and Adeline. So it'll probably be a couple weeks before I can squeeze out the time, and I'll have hopefully some more framing for you. I think I counted them the other day after Kim was gone. I think I'm still about 18 pieces behind. But she's coming back on Wednesday, so hopefully we'll be able to get that number down to maybe 7 or 8 would be nice. So I should have some more framing for you when I come back, and updates on whips, and I know you all talk about plans, but my plans are always fluid. So my plan is to work on those two, on Fracture Flowers and It's Spring Fever, but plans change, so who knows. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye and see you next time.